Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to like this video. And don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. Here's the front page of the channel. The bottom arrow is pointing at the subscribe button that's normally red until you click on it, and this one turns white after you subscribe. The top arrow is pointing to the bell. Now, the bell doesn't show up until after you click the subscribe button, and then the bell will show up, and that way you can be notified of new uploads. Our blog is texasrepublic.wordpress.com. Our website is thetexasrepublic.com. Our email address is oneyellowroseenterprises@gmail.com. Our YouTube profile is, this is the link, because YouTube doesn't allow us to have a customized URL until we have over a certain number of subscribers. And follow us on Twitter at Texas Republic for You and at We Are Texians. Check out our other videos and playlists. Republic of Texas RT documentary. Texas and other American states is under a military occupation. The Republic of Texas Forum of 2016. And describe the kind of people who would thrive in independent Texas. And so check them out.
Okay, Carrie, unmute yourself.
When?
Okay. Somebody has a question or want to tell us something, push *6 and talk. Nobody wants to talk tonight?
Hi, this is Pete in Texas.
Okay, Pete.
And I've just experienced tremendous success with the petition number 2.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute, number 2. You know what number 2 is?
Yeah, what I did on them. It's exactly.
Okay, why don't you tell us what it is, because not everybody knows.
Well, petition number 2 is several steps in the document that puts the petitioner, which is myself, against the respondent, is the commissioner of the IRS, and basically it's the lack of jurisdiction issue, and it worked tremendous for me, and so I filed that petition number 2, and within about 3 weeks, I got an answer back from the court, U.S. Tax Court, stating that the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction was for the 10 years that I basically fought them on. Okay. If that's the right way to say it. Then after that, the court wanted us to do the supplement of an additional several years prior to that, and of course it came back to where they motioned to dismiss that as well. And by the way, guys and girls, during those first several years, I was an idiot. I filed, so they weren't going to find anything there anyway. So, but I felt like it was really strange that they petitioned me to see if I wanted to. Let me see if I can get the right word there. Okay, just bear with me. I'm kind of, excited and a little nervous, but see if I can get the right one out. Yes, okay. I'm going through a whole bunch of. So they wanted to. They did the first supplement, or the first supplement for the prior 7 years, and they found that was not anything. They lacked jurisdiction as well on that, so they threw that out. Then they asked if I wanted to object to the final finding, and I thought that was pretty peculiar. And I come to find out that that's basic. That's something that they have to do. So as far as I'm concerned, they've given me tremendous amount of ammunition to go after their asses, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Good for you.
Now let me say this, and maybe somebody can answer this because of their experience. But my Social Security check got in June, the end of June, for June. And then on July 3rd, I got another deposit. Now, it wasn't for the adjusted amount, okay? But it was like a addition to where normally I would never get paid on July 3rd. It would be on the 20th of July. So I thought that was pretty peculiar. But then again, I felt like, that they're paying me back for the last year of money that they stole from me. So I don't know if that's right or wrong, but
well, that's probably what it is. But now I'll send you a I'll send you a checking account number and a drafting number.
Okay. Well, I tell you what.
It's always good to get money when you don't know you're coming. Good job.
Exactly, and I tell you what, I want to thank this group for turning me on to this procedure, and I tell you, it worked just as smoothly as it was presented. So, Carrie, thank you so much, Ed. And anyway, I just wanted to share my success tonight. Okay, so. Anyway.
We appreciate it. Thank you. And
thank you.
Thank Ed. Ed's the guy that started this, and he just.
Yes.
I'm just because he asked me to be. So Ed's the.
Yes. So Ed, thank you so much. Okay, and I know I bugged you for a while, but I'm glad I bugged you.
Can you share how it worked from start to finish?
So thank you so much. I'll bow out now. I'll star 6, and I'll wait for everybody else's replies. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
To the gentleman that was just talking, can you share how long it took you from start to finish?
Yeah, I would say that it took around less than 2 months, really. And let me say this: in the beginning, I went ahead and paid my $60 fee, and then it was mentioned not to pay it. But I'm kind of glad I did pay it because I think it rocked it along quicker. And so anyway, that's my story. I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
And what state did you do it in again?
Say that again, sir.
What state?
Texas.
Yeah, but that's
I know I don't talk like Texas, but I'm here. I've been here a long time.
Yep. And would you do it? Would you if someone asked you, would you do it again?
1,000 times I'd do it again.
Well, thank you.
Because
for sharing.
because they terrorized me for a long time. Okay, and so this is just fantastic. So
thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Next.
Hi, this is Robin from Washington. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just starting this process. I got all the forms and I'm filling them out. And I just heard the last a gentleman say that he did pay the $60. And I've listened to a couple of your calls, and I hear you say not to pay the $60 and to pay the $60.
Okay, what we're doing is we change, because what's happening is they're bottlenecking it on us. What they were doing is they were doing it incorrectly. They're doing it right now. So go ahead and pay it, and then it will go through faster for you.
Okay, and should we do a signed certified letter to make when you send it?
That's up to you. I don't give legal advice.
Okay,
That's up to you.
okay. So and it also said form it said form 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I don't know, is the third form actually the second page to form 2?
Form 2 is by itself. If you go on their website and just download the package.
Yeah, that's what I got. Is the package. And
okay.
I also thank you very much. I've been playing around, and I appreciate your being a patriot and allowing all of us the opportunity to claim our freedoms. It's really a wonderful thing that you're doing for all of us. So thank you.
That's not why I'm doing it, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice evening.
You got it. And thanks for sharing. Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share?
Next.
Yeah, Kerry. This is Dave in Kansas. I sent you an email earlier today. Don't know if you got it.
I may have gotten it, but I've been real busy today.
Okay. Well, I got my letter back. It says the commissioner moves for dismissal. I sent that to a gentleman who is paying money to the IRS for money he owes me, because the IRS said to come and pay it, but they contacted him. He bought some property on contract, and they told him he had to pay them, which he started doing, and I told him it's wrong. But anyway, I told him to start paying me. Well, the IRS agent contacted him out of the clear blue. Evidently, they got the letter of non-jurisdiction, and I got a copy of the letter that the agent sent to that guy. Says, don't pay any attention. Based on our legal counsel, that letter of non-jurisdiction has no effect. You must still pay your money to the IRS.
Okay. The funny part about that is the IRS's boss said that. So what you need to do is find out who that is and send him a notice, okay? And let him know that he's practicing law now without a license. And what we're doing now, go ahead.
In his letter, he said, based on counsel, he's out of the main office in Kansas City. I've met with him once before. I offered to discharge the whole thing, and we've been fighting, but I think he needs to go to prison personally, because he violated, he doesn't have an oath of office, doesn't have anything. Right. He isn't even he's impersonating a federal official, which is a felony.
Well, that's right. Well, but what you can do is send him a letter telling him that he is practicing law without a license. And do you have the motion that remember the motion that the IRS commissioner's attorneys wrote you?
Yes. Well, I got the court order. And I got the letter from the agent.
Okay. Now, that's a motion. The motion in there says it. Get a copy of that. Highlight the part where they violated your due process. Put together a cover letter. Put your motion and the order there, and send it to the guy in Kansas City that says not to pay you. And tell him that this is your last warning. This is his notice to sue. And what you can do is see, he is now making a legal determination. And by making a legal determination, the only thing he can do, he has to be an attorney. If he's not an attorney, then he is violating the law. And see, that's an argument that you can win. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to show you there's more than one way to skin a cat, okay? And
right.
what we're trying to
understand.
we're trying to give you a way that you can go now and deal with these people the way they need to be dealt with. But do you know how to eat an elephant?
Got to do it one bite at a time.
You see, you got a major bite right there. So now it's time to take your bite and let.
I got enough bites to put him in prison longer than I was in prison.
Okay, now then that's a good. Then there's also I've been working on a process that can help you get paid for while you were in there. Get a hold of Ed, and we'll give you my email address, and we'll just do that one-on-one.
Okay, I got your email address and phone number both. We've talked before.
Okay, then what we'll do is after we talk, if you want to do it, then I'll you let me know, and I'll help you where I can.
Okay,
but what you
appreciate
need to do is, yes, what you need to do is get that agent and send him a notice.
Okay, I have notice all written out. I have one all written out for him.
Good enough. And if I can help you with that, you let me know, because we're gonna get these people stopped from doing what they're doing, because they're way outside their own. They're doing things that they can't do, but they're doing them. So
I got 4 of them that should be put in prison for what they did.
Yep. And now they're starting to see the error of their ways.
But have you had a chance to look at that law, that RS law that just passed last week?
Well, I have, but I haven't had a chance to do it because I've been real busy this week we got a whole bunch of people that are trying to get their Social Security checks restored. So I'm helping them with that, but I will get it. Did you have a chance to read it?
I've read parts of it. It looks like it's going to be easier to do what we're doing.
It is. It's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot easier. And so you're going to see a mad dash. The IRS is going to start running away from that organization, because they're asked to do stuff they can't do. And you're going to start seeing them doing time.
Okay. Thank you very much for your help. God bless.
No, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Next.
Okay, we're trying to give you time to ask a question, and so if you don't have any, then we'll...
Yeah, Kerry, I got a question. What's the next step after we get our lack of jurisdiction motion?
You get a hold of Ed, and then Ed will get a hold of me, and then we'll talk.
Sounds good. Okay, Ed, check your email back after the call.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take that motion, and we're going to go to the proper court and get you your money back.
From day one, right? Since my
you got it. Well, wait a minute. If they didn't have jurisdiction, guess what? They're now being called on it.
I love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I got a question.
Well, so what? Tonight's not the night for that.
Sure. Okay, I have a certified copy, 2 certified copies of the order. I have a certified copy of the motion. Now then, how do I put that in the county clerk's office?
Well, what you do is, are you trying to get rid of your liens?
Yes, I got a $21,000 lien. I had a $29,000. I told them take it off and took it off. They came back and put a $21,000 on it.
what you're going to do is get a 12277 form. You fill it out, and you fill it out and send it to the address that they tell you to send it to. What will happen is there will be an agent on the other end that will come on and say, that's not what that says, you don't qualify. Then what they're doing is they're practicing law now without a license. So what we're going to do is we're going to call them on it. Does that make sense?
No, not really. I understand what you're saying, but I do this with, after I get that, do I do it at the county clerk's office?
Okay, you're not listening to me. You do a 12277 form. That is a release of lien form. You're going to go to the IRS and tell them to release it. If they don't, now they damage you. Then when you take them to court, not only will they release it, they will pay you because, see, they're practicing law without a license.
Okay. That number again was 1227 form?
No, 12277.
Okay.
And what it is it's a release. It's a release of federal tax lien form. And what it does is you go in there and you fill it out. It's real easy. It takes you about 10 minutes to fill it out. Then you take your court order. You highlight the portion that says they didn't have jurisdiction. If you have your motion, highlight the same areas. Then you're going to have. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the 12277, the court order, the motion, and then do a cover letter. On the cover letter, you're going to just explain to them what you're doing. This is because you didn't have jurisdiction. You need to release the lien immediately. See, and you just tell them on the letter what you're going to do, and then that's your package. Put it in an envelope, and it tells you where to mail it. What will happen is an IRS agent on the other end will come in and tell you that you don't qualify because of 6323J. He's going to say, well, because the IRS said, and he's going to say, that is Title 26. That is a statute. The guy that's telling you that is making a legal determination, and he cannot do that. We'll take him to federal court, and we will break it off in them, okay?
Okay. Will the form tell me which IRS office to mail it to?
It tells you, it doesn't tell, what it does is it tells you, send it to the blah, blah, blah. In other words, if you live in Texas, by what they say, you'll send it to Austin. If you live in the Washington, it'll tell you to send it to Spokane. They don't say that, but they say send it to the capital or something to that effect. It gives you instructions, okay?
Okay. Okay, appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Send me an email and I'll send you the form.
There you go. That would be better. Send Ed an email, and he'll send you the form, and then you'll have Then I know you'll have the right form.
Hey, Kerry, what was the form number that the gentleman from the IRS would say that they're referring to? 6323K?
No, it's 63. It's not a form. They're going to say under code 6332J. And what it does is it gives you it's Title 26. That is a statute. An IRS agent cannot tell you what it means. It's like me telling you, here, let me do this. You got a speeding ticket, so I'll represent you. I'll write your paperwork, and I'll sue the county for you. I can't do that. The reason I can't do that is I'm not a licensed professional. So the IRS agent that gets it will tell you, here's what it says. It don't say that. It says this. Read 6332J. Well, that's that. See, he cannot make a legal determination, and he is. So there's our proof, and we're going to go back and tell him that. And what we'll do is we'll file a lawsuit against the agent in federal district court on the grounds he's practicing law without a license. See, it's not about taxes anymore. Now you can go in there and argue. They're going to say, you think you should pay your fair share? I don't know. Can I make a legal determination? Because you're letting him. See, now the argument is very simple that way. Does that help you?
Yep.
Okay, now let me ask you a question real quick, okay? If I have a pair of steel-toed boots on and I kick you in the groin, will it hurt?
Won't hurt you.
See, there's not enough information there. It won't hurt Ed. It won't hurt me. It won't hurt. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, well, no. See, they're making a legal determination. They can't. They can't. See what I'm saying? And so, if they want to fight, do you know what the rules are in a bar fight by any chance?
Anything goes?
No. You win. Cheat if you have to. Do you notice that they're cheating? So this is not a legal issue. This is a bar fight, buddy. This is a bar fight because they're going to win and they're going to cheat if they have to. So we're in a bar fight. So let me recommend a few tools to take with you. See?
So what happens when they call? They're not going to give their name, are they?
Oh, yes. They sign the document.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. See? They're going to stop pretty soon because we got the court just about shut down.
Has anyone done that yet?
Like I said, we got the court darn near shut down.
But has anyone gone through the whole process yet?
Okay, I'll say it one more time. We
I know.
almost got the court shut down. So the only way you can go to court is you have to notice them. You can't just sue somebody. You have to notice them, give them a chance to fix the problem. What we're doing is the court can only rule on controversy. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to sue you because you're a nice guy. You're going to say, yeah, I'm a nice guy. The court cannot make a ruling if there's no controversy. So we're going to take the controversy away. If we don't, then they can only argue the controversy. The controversy is we're going to take the controversy to them. We're going to be the plaintiff. If you lose being the plaintiff, you go home, put your feet up on the table, eat a pint of ice cream. If you lose as a defendant, you pack your bags and go to prison for a few years. So the controversy, we're going to pick the controversy, and we're going to pick the bar fight that we're in.
Okay. That answers my question.
Oh no, thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Gary, you keep fading out on sometimes.
Yeah, it's probably your line.
Probably what?
It's probably my phone. I'll try to hold it a little bit different.
That's better right there.
Okay, then I'll hold it right there.
Okay. Don't move. Next.
You got it.
Hey, Ed, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, it's Tori. How are you tonight?
We're rocking right along.
That's fantastic. Hey, I had a novel idea while this man was just talking a little while ago about somebody in the county office refusing to process his release of levy. There's something that we can all remember to do other than just taking care of ourselves in situations like this and other challenges. So anybody who works in the county office usually is an elected official of some sort. They've got oath of office or a surety bond or a badge number of sorts in order to protect us from them doing us any harm. And you can request that. You can make that
Yes.
request to them. They have to cough that up. They have to cough up a copy of their sworn oath of office, a copy of their surety bond, their badge number, or their bar card ID. You could challenge jurisdiction in a county office.
At any time.
At any time. And they can't move forward until they prove they have it over you. The other thing that I was going to suggest to him, the other fellow that's got an issue with the IRS agent coming after his buddy, when you send them that letter, put something in that cover letter around Title 26, 7214. It's a beautiful statute put in place to protect us from them. Any officer or employee of the United States acting in connection with any revenue law of the United States who is guilty of extortion or willful oppression under the color of law, or who knowingly demands other or greater sums than authorized by law, or receives any fee, compensation, reward, except as by law prescribed for the performance of a duty, or who with intent to defeat the application of any provision of the title fails to perform any of the duties of that office or of employment, anybody who conspires or colludes with any other person to defraud the United States. I think the United States would be pretty pissed. I mean, it goes on and on and on. There's 9, 10 points here. And then it talks about the BATF, right?
Yeah.
But they can go to prison for up to 5 years. They can be fined $10,000. Yeah, they can have their life turned upside down too. So we got to start using all the ammunition.
Can you repeat that code, please?
Right.
It's Title 26, 7214. And you can just type that into Google and it'll give it to you. It's a U.S. code. It's not a code of federal regulations.
Right. When you write your cover letter, add that to it. In other words, here's what it says. You're practicing law, and so here we go.
Cease and desist. And, hey, you can write an affidavit to that fact and enter and get it notarized, get a jurat on it, get a witness, get it notarized, take it to the district court, because the minute that they step on your money, that's criminal. You are a first-hand material fact witness that suffered personal injury. And this has got nothing to do with taxes anymore. This has got to do with them performing a crime.
We have to get it away from the tax issue. The other thing I hear people say all the time, I took it down there and they won't take my paperwork. Well, what we're doing is when you go to the county, if they won't take your paperwork, take it to I just drew a blank.
A service center?
Recordings. In other words, if you're married, you got a marriage license. So if you have a dog, that's a thoroughbred. That's where you take it to records. It's called records. So go up there and file it in records. They'll stamp it. You still got the court stamp, and it's now in records. So if they won't take it where they're supposed to, just take it to records. When you're in records, you've got it in there, and that might be of some help for you, because now you're able to get your paper in the court. I hope that made sense.
You can do that. You can fill out an affidavit with a couple of points on it. Let them know that they wouldn't take your paperwork and release your levy, right? You can get it in and notice them if they acquiesce 30 days. This is a contract. The minute that you put an affidavit in the county recorder's office that goes unrebutted, in 30 days, it is now public policy.
Right. The other thing we're doing is we're taking it to records. We're getting it filed. Once we get it, recorded, we then can take it, wait a few days, and then take it down to that wouldn't take it, and they'll usually take it then because it's already been in there and it's already court record. So
yeah, get a copy of the book and the page number.
Right, and then
that's beautiful.
Sometimes you have to move backwards a little bit to go forward. But what we're doing is we're doing whatever it takes for us to get the paperwork that they don't want. And if they don't want it, there's a reason they don't want it. And what's happening doing it the way I just told you is when we go back down there, they don't just pull your notice of lien. They don't just cover it up with your other paperwork. They're expunging it. It's like it was never there. And if you have any other questions about that, let Ed know, and he'll get a hold of me, and I'll give you a call, or Ed can talk to you. But we're taking it to records, and we're entering it into the court through records. And we're taking our court order, our motion, and we're taking it through records. And what that does is that you now have a court order that says that they didn't have jurisdiction. Now you can get some traction. That's your one piece at a time. We're going to eat an elephant, and the IRS is the elephant. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So let's get some bites out there that will help you turn the corner on this for you. Now, jurisdiction isn't everything, okay? It's the only thing.
Yep, and every court doesn't have jurisdiction over everything. It has limited jurisdiction over some things.
See? So if they're over there making decisions on you they can't make, well, guess what? The county attorney, he can go to jail too. So we just need to start doing things smarter, not more complicated.
Well, that going to the recorder's office and getting that recorded just like that, and then getting that lien release, that's good. That's good evidence for a court.
Right. And see,
because then you can just request that stuff be pulled right out of the book and the page number, right. And the judge won't have any. He'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you can't say it's not there. So that's what we're doing. Again, I'm going to make this statement. I'm not giving legal advice, so don't take it as legal advice. What I'm doing is I'm telling you what we're doing.
I'm not either. I'm just telling you what's been working for me.
There you go. And thank you for that, Tori. Thank you for your input. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry.
I'd pay somebody $100 to help me with mine.
What's that?
I say I'd pay $100 for somebody to do mine for me.
Yep. But the $100 ain't enough for me to go to prison.
Plus, you learn more when you do it yourself, because once you get through that pain, there's nothing in the world that makes you feel as deep as all this, does it, Kerry?
I don't think so. And like I said, we not only do we have a process to get your Social Security started to come back in full checks, but we also have a process that we're working on to go to the proper court and start getting them to make them pay all your anything. If they didn't have jurisdiction, anything they touched, they have to give it back. And it's really creating a stink for them, I'll tell you that.
It'll be out in the millions.
Well, everybody, yeah, but that's for everybody. In fact, they got a new rule. They're writing a new rule that's got my name on it. So they said that they want it dismissed, and they use my name as the reason they want it dismissed, because I'm running the place amok. But if you want some help with it, get a hold of Ed, and then Ed will get a hold of me, and I'll give you a call, and we'll talk about your particular situation and we'll see if we can help you with it.
How do we get a hold of Ed?
How did you get on this call tonight? On the bottom
I dialed a number that a friend gave me.
Okay. Did he just give you the number, or did he give you the email that went out?
No email, just a phone number to call this conference.
Okay.
Your friend got an email from me probably, and my email is on that email that he received.
Okay.
And then get a hold of Ed. And now, let me just say one thing. People give Ed emails all the time wanting to get a hold of me or get a hold of Ed. Please have him call me. Then they don't give us a phone number. So, so if you're going to if you want us to call you, we will do it. But we need a phone number when you put it down there on the email. Say here, have Kerry call me or have Ed call me. Here's my phone number, and let us know. And then, because I had them call me today, but they block their number, so I don't answer blocked numbers. I just don't. So if you give us your number, we can call you. But without a phone number, we have a real hard time getting back to you.
Do you record these calls, and can we dial a number to listen to them?
Yes.
Yes.
What number?
Being recorded right now.
What number do I call to get to listen to it?
Do you have
your friend that got that email has all that information on it?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
These turkeys got to be as uncollectible. Have been going about 3 or 4 years. Now I got a letter the other day, a failure to file 1099 on 17.
Well, let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. What is a 1099?
Reporting on yourself, ain't it?
Ain't that something? See? Yeah. But what are you reporting? What are you think? I want you to think. All right, let me ask you a question to you. Does a federal employee have to file a 1040 form?
I guess a federal employee does, but I don't.
All right, now a federal employee does a 1040 form. What is a 1040 form? Isn't it an income tax return?
That's what I'd call it.
Okay, if income is not defined, what are they going to file? A dubulator return?
So they ain't got a leg to stand on then.
There you go. And see, if you understand what they're doing, if you get a hold of me or Ed, I'll show you in their own book where it says you don't have to file a 1040. It tells it to you in black and white. But if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it. I've read it. I was indicted. That kept me out of jail because when I called it up, the word income does not appear in the 1040 booklet. It doesn't appear. So let me ask you a question. Because we're doing this call tonight, you got to give us 400. And if you don't give me 400, I'm going to take your house. Now, what would your next question be?
400 what?
I'm not going to tell you, but if you don't send it, you're going to lose your house or go to jail. See, if you play the cards, if you do, just listen to what they're saying instead of thinking, well, I think I know what they want. I'm too stupid to know what they want. See?
Super thieves.
Say that again?
Super thieves.
Well, they are.
Hey, Terry and Ed. This is April Scarlett. I've been talking to you guys for a couple of years, and you were kind enough to give me some information when I was being threatened by Aquin to take my home, and they ended up doing it at gunpoint. They sent a constable's office out to remove me August of 2018. And okay. I just recently got a Form 1099-A. At the very top of it says acquisition or abandonment of secured property, and telling me that I owe them $209,000.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Now that you said that, how did they tell you that? Do you know what $1 is?
Are we talking FRNs or are we talking actual money?
Wait a second. See, what you just said is they told you owed them $250,000. I'm not saying I'm not an attorney and can't give you I can't give you a legal determination. So how do you know what they're asking for, if you don't mind me asking?
It says fair market value property with a $sign, and then it says 209.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, wait a second. You said with a $sign. Tell me what a $sign is, please.
It's a symbol.
All right. What does the symbol look like?
It's an S with 2 lines through it.
So does yours have an S with 2 lines or 1 line?
Hold on. Looks like it has 2 lines to me.
Okay. Look at it real close because it doesn't.
Let me get my glasses.
All right. All right. Well, she's getting her glasses. I'm going to ask a question that I asked a few weeks ago.
You're right. It only has 1 line through it.
I know that because they can't ask for the 2 lines because gold and silver doesn't exist. So they're asking for fiat. And see, if you go to Title 31, Section 3124, it tells you there what they can and cannot do. So what they're asking you to do is you make the determination. See, I'm not an attorney, so I cannot make a legal determination. So I refuse to make one. Now, since they told you that, see, let me ask you a question. Why do they call it a 1040 form?
I don't know enough about any of this to answer that question.
All right, well, let me tell you what I think. I'm not giving legal advice. But during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln borrowed money from England, okay? And what he did was he got bonds. They bought the bonds. Guess what the bonds were called?
1040 bonds.
Ain't that something? Do you know why? Now, this is just a coincidence, but why do we pay, if the year runs out December 31st, why is the tax return due April 15th? Why do you think?
I've never even thought about it.
Okay, well, Abraham Lincoln was shot on the 14th and lived 7 hours. He died at 1 o'clock in the morning, April 15th.
Wow.
So, you knew that because you signed your 1040 form under penalties of perjury. So what happened is, the 1040 is not a contract. What it is it's a 1040 bond. And what you did was it's due on April the 15th. And so what we're doing is we're giving England back the money that we borrowed 150 years ago. Being fiat money, they don't make the interest. So we owe as much today as he borrowed back then.
So when they sent this to me for abandonment of secured party, I haven't called the IRS yet, but it made me so angry. Yeah, I abandoned it at gunpoint. That's how I abandoned my property. So I'm wondering.
Now, let me explain another thing to you, okay? Can you tell me what property is?
It doesn't say personal property, and it doesn't say real property. It called it secured property.
I don't care. That doesn't matter. See, it's all about the words. Tell me what property is, and then or if you don't know, I will define it the way the law does, and then when we define it, you'll see what's going on.
Well, I would just be guessing because I know it's not real property, because it doesn't say that.
But no, it doesn't matter. Property, if you go to Black's Law Dictionary and look up eminent domain, it says the government has all rights to all property. They can take it at any time they want. You can never own it. You can only rent it. Now, I want you to think about this.
I'm familiar with that.
Okay, if you have children, what are your children called? Property. That way, if the government goes to war, they can take their property and draft your children, but they can draft their property. Now, what I recommend you do is get a Black's Law Dictionary and look up every word on that document so you know what they're saying. Does that make sense?
Well, some really crazy things have happened since they removed us at gunpoint. We got the Texas Rangers involved. I just, by some stroke of luck, happened to come into contact with an ex-constable and an ex-Fort Bend County sheriff who have just kind of jumped in. We got the Texas Rangers involved, and a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes. And so I'm hopeful. I don't know if I should even respond to this and just let it be what it is, or try to deal with the IRS head on.
Okay, now I don't give legal advice, so I can't tell you what to do.
Oh, I know.
So, does any of that make any sense to you?
None of this has ever made any sense to me because I don't think in those contexts.
And see, that's where they have the problem. That's the only. I don't know how to think any other way because I think crazy, and that's what happens.
So the program that because John Wiley and I are friends, John's probably on this call. The program that you guys are doing as far as jurisdiction is concerned, would that be anything that would help me kind of tread these waters?
Well, again, you're asking me to give you legal advice. Let me tell you what it does. You go to the tax court. You tell the tax court you never received a notice of deficiency. The IRS commissioner says we can't find it. Do you know why they can't find it?
It doesn't exist.
There you go. If it doesn't exist, they can't find it. Do you know what, first of all, do you know what a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination is? What would be another word for it?
Delinquency.
No, it would be assessment. So what the IRS commissioner is saying is, we never gave you an assessment. So if they never gave you an assessment, and do you know what an assessment is?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and paint your house. Now, would you like an assessment of what it's going to cost?
So it's an estimate.
No, it's not an estimate. It's assessment. How much is your car? Do you have an automobile you drive? I don't want to know what kind it is. Okay, what is it worth?
$12,000.
Therein lies. Okay, there is the assessment. I'll give you $400 for it. See? In other words, you gave me what it's worth. How do you owe $50 to the IRS if there's never been an assessment? See, I think they PFA it all the time. And by PFAing it, you end up thinking, maybe I do owe it. See?
Well, I haven't dealt with them in 10 years probably. I went ahead and filed some paperwork that I probably need to go back and kind of redo some things that I've done. But I just told them that I was no longer a United States citizen. I'm now an American national.
Okay, stop for a second. See, you're making it about you. See, you're making it about you. I don't do that. Now, let me tell you why. If you get on the roof of a house and slip and fall, tell me what happens.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You get on the roof of a house and slip and fall. What happens?
I'm probably going to end up dead or messed up pretty bad.
No, see, well, no, maybe not. You might land on a mattress. You might land in a tree branch. But you slip and you head down. Isn't that true? Whether or not you hit the ground or not, that's not this point. You head down though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happens if your boyfriend or husband or a dog or you drop a dime or a marble? What happens to it? Same thing, correct?
Yes.
Why is that?
Gravity.
Nope. The law of gravity says if you fall, you go down. So what you're saying is, well, if I'm a non-resident alien and I fall off the roof, I'm going to hover. See, you're taking all the responsibility on yourself. What I'm trying to get across, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about what they're doing. What they're doing is they're violating the law. Now, if they're violating the law,
That was 10 years ago. I haven't paid them a dime, and they put me on a non-collectible list, so I haven't had to deal with that.
Okay, then you're good. But never. In my opinion, I don't give legal advice, but in my opinion, you never want to take the responsibility. See, in other words, what I do, if they ask me a question, I always answer the question, but I don't understand the question because I'm too stupid. Now, let me ask you a question. Where you're from, do you guys wear blue jeans there?
Yeah.
All right. You said yes. So would you tell me what blue jeans are, please?
Jeans that are blue.
Okay. Just tell me what jeans are then.
Well, I guess that's the wide definition. Wranglers, Levi's.
Well, see, you said you did. Jeans are pants. See? They're pants that are blue. They're not denim because that's a type. That's what I'm trying to get across to people. Let's not be so broad, okay? In other words, when you're so broad, you're answering the question, but the question is so broad, they're getting the answer they want, whether that's what you're giving them or not. Now, I want you to think about this. How many legs does a dog have?
Well, I guess that depends on the dog.
Ain't that something? See how simple that was? Have you ever called a man? He's a real dog. He's got 2. See? Now, there's some dogs that have 4, but one's missing, so they got 3. See, until you know the exact dog, you can't answer the question.
I see your point. That's just like the bullshit, confusing language asking you if this is your vehicle. And are you a driver? Were you driving? It's the same stupid name game.
Well, see, I understand that. But what I did is I have a glossary page that I use. I have a glossary page. When I go into a courtroom, I have a glossary page and I pass it out to the judge and to the prosecuting attorney. The reason I do that because they have a special language called legalese. I don't speak that language, so I'm going to protect myself, and that is I have to know what they're talking about. So I bring my own translation because if you don't speak the language and if you don't speak Mandarin and they bring in somebody that speaks Mandarin, they're going to interpret it for you. How do you know what they're interpreting is what they're saying? See?
So where do you get this glossary? Did you create that yourself?
I did. I created it myself. But what I try to do is I want to protect myself against these jacklegs, see?
That's so smart.
Well, so let me ask you a question, okay? What if you see a river, what state would the river run from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain? In what state would that happen?
I have no idea.
Sure you do.
What state would the river run from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain?
Yeah.
It would be in a state of water, I guess, liquid.
There you go. You see how simple that is? See? Because if you would have said in Alaska, I would have said, it's frozen part of the year, so it doesn't flow at all. See, this is what they're doing to us. So what I have done is I have come up with a glossary page. That glossary page has saved my bacon many, many times.
Well, thank you guys for letting me interrupt your call. I'll mute myself, but I appreciate your time and what you're doing, and I'm so glad that you guys are continuing this endeavor, and I really appreciate you.
Well, we thank you for being here.
Carrie, is your glossary 3 pages available to purchase?
No, sir.
No?
It's available for free. Get a hold of Ed, and he will. And Ed has it, I believe. And if he doesn't get a hold of Ed, he'll get a hold of me. But Ed, I think I've given it to Ed, and Ed can send it to you. Now, it's not an all-inclusive, but it gives you enough to understand it, and then you can go in and add to it or take away from it. But see, let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Do you know? Okay. Have you ever made any money in your lifetime?
In the terms of generally speaking, yes.
See? Now ask me the same thing.
Carrie, have you ever made any money in your life?
Thank you for asking me. I don't know what it is. Would you tell me what it is? See, I can't tell you that because I don't know what it is. Now let me ask you another question, okay? Do you
Sure.
know do you know what an orange is?
A what?
Orange.
No.
You don't know what an orange is?
Are you saying audience or something else?
Orange. O-R-A-N-G-E. Orange. Gary, you're getting weak. Move. Okay. Do you know what an orange is?
I'm not sure what you're saying. I can't understand. Are you saying orange?
Yes.
O-R-N-G-E?
Yes.
Okay, I do.
What is it?
Well, it's a citrus fruit.
No, sir. You're wrong. It's a color.
Oh, I see.
See? Now, let me ask you another question. What color is a banana?
Oh. Well, I'm going to get sucker punched, but I'm going to go for yellow.
Okay, what color are they before they're ripe?
Green.
What color are they if they're too ripe?
Brown, black.
See? There you go. And yellow. So so you can't know. That's what they're doing. So what you would have to do is, what color is a banana? Try it. Golly, I'm glad you asked. In what state? Not ripe, too ripe, or way too ripe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's what my glossary page does. Because if I can ask you 100 questions, and every one of them will have more than one meaning. See, did you know a 1040 was based on the 1040 bonds that Lincoln sold to England? Did you know that?
They're based on what bonds?
1040 bonds that Lincoln sold to England.
And they're based on what?
Help me, somebody.
All trickery.
That's right. Okay, a 1040 form is based on the 1040 bonds that Abraham Lincoln sold to England 150 years ago. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
But you signed it under penalty of perjury that everything on this form is true.
Wow.
Now, did you know that Abraham Lincoln died on April 15th?
You said it previously, yes.
See? But yet you signed it saying you knew that. Again, so it's not a surprise that you hear, well, we're paying England. We're giving all the money to England. Of course we are, because you're filling out a 1040 form. Now, in the 1040 instruction booklet, what does it tell you to file? Do you know?
I sure don't.
Well, I can tell you what it tells you. It says you have to file a return or statement. So what do you have to file?
A return or statement.
See that? It didn't say 1040. It didn't say a 2251. It doesn't say a 1041. It says a return. Now the question is, what is a return?
I do not know.
Well, I do. My wife buys a pair of pants online. They don't fit her, so she returns them. I guess it's a pair of pants. See?
I
do you
see.
Know what it's well, no, I read their form. I read their book. That's what it says. Now, do you know what a statement is?
I have no idea.
Eat shit and die. Isn't that a statement?
What is?
Eat shit and die. Isn't that a statement?
See it die, I think you said.
I said
eat. He said eat shit and die.
I really have bad hearing, so
He said eat shit and die.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I hear you.
Isn't that a statement?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, what I would do is I would go to that page, tear it out of the book, highlight it, staple my statement, eat shit and die, sign it, send it in. That's what it says.
Holy cow.
See, this is what they're telling me. See?
This is what they're...
It's in their book. For God's sake.
Yeah. It says file a return or statement. Where is that located?
Okay. On page 107. If you look at page 107, it's under the Paper Reduction Act. Left column, come down to you see 6011. It says the IRS gets its authority from section, and it gives them to you there. It says you must file a return or statement. That's what it says. Tear that page out, send it in, write you a statement.
You're referring to page 107 of the IRS code?
Nope, of the 1040 booklet. Now, if they don't take it, then they're using the mail. Now I'll go after them, sue them for mail fraud.
Huh.
IRS booklet.
The IRS booklet, the 1040 instructions.
Okay.
If you have a question and want to see it, get a hold of Ed, and I will send it to you. I have it set up where I can send it to you. Anybody wants to see it, I'll send it to you. I'll highlight it so you can read it with your own eyes.
Okay.
It's their book. It's not my book. I didn't write it. It's their book. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, it makes real good sense.
See, I'm not thinking like normal people. I'm a nut job, okay? I can't help it. See, I'm as dumb as a box of hammers. I don't care. It doesn't make me any difference.
What state do you live in, Carrie?
State of nut jobs, state of confusion.
I should have expected that.
Oh, you asked me.
Yeah, I did.
You want to know what state I live in, one of the 50?
Yeah.
Okay, number 42.
Oh, boy.
Number 28, Gary.
Is that what it is? Okay. I live in Texas.
Okay.
Star number 28.
Okay.
Star number 20. There you go. See? What I'm trying to tell you is, you asked me the question and I answered it. Now, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you married?
Yes, sir. 44 years.
Good for you. I don't know you from Adam. So my question is, are you married to a male or a female?
Well, definitely a female.
Okay, so you're married to a goat.
No, a female human being. You are sharp on these words.
No, you did not. That's right. Now, you ask me the same question if you want to.
Okay, are you married, Carrie?
Yes, for 41 years.
Well, I got you beat. You have to catch up with me.
I'm working at it. Now, ask me if it's a male or a female.
Is it a male or a female?
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll bite.
Well, I don't know. Bite what? Go ahead and bite. See, I'm not going to answer it for you. You're going to have to ask me. So wouldn't you want to know what it is?
Yeah. What are you married to, Carrie?
A woman. See,
okay.
all women are females, but not all females are women. That's how they get us. See?
And your children are not kids.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I could figure that one. Yeah.
Hey, see, but see what happens is they'll ask you 4 or 5 questions in court. Then you realize what you did. Now they're going to put you in jail for contempt of court.
Ah. That's when you start shooting.
So what I try to do is, if they ask me a question, I answer the question they asked, not the question I think they asked. So let me ask you a question. Do you know what 12 inches is?
12 what?
Inches.
Oh, of course.
What is it?
1 inch increments of a 1 foot ruler.
Okay, so you're saying 12 inches is a foot. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So your wife's feet are 12 inches? There's a foot at the end of her ankle.
Oh,
so no, sir. You said it. You said it. So I'm using your words. You said your wife has a 12-inch foot.
All right.
See?
That's the only way they can get you, through tricks.
That's exactly right. So what I try to do is I'm trying to put this together so you understand. When they ask you a question, I have to know 100% what it is, so I use my glossary page to do that. My glossary page says on there, it has certain words that are defined by the law. If they ask me one of those questions, that's the thing. Then I never get hurt. Now, are you still with me?
I am, sir.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question. I want you to answer it as truthful as you can.
All right.
If your wife is allergic to seafood, it will kill her if she eats seafood. Can she eat a steak?
Can she eat a steak?
Yes.
Well, let's see. You might call seafood a steak if it's formed in a certain pattern, maybe. So I'm not sure.
Let me ask you. Okay, then why don't you just close your eyes and eat a shrimp?
See a shrimp?
S-E-E. I didn't say S-E-A.
Oh, mind game. I got you.
You assumed I did, so that's what
that's right.
See, when they ask me if your wife is allergic to seafood, can she eat beef? I would say I don't have a clue because I don't know what seafood is. Let them tell me. Well, no, I don't know. As soon as they tell me, I can answer it. But unless I know what the words mean, there's no way I can answer them. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to do here. See, when I got indicted, they took 18 of us. 17 went to prison. I did not, and that's why.
Wow. That's impressive.
Well, I don't know if it is or not, but that's what happened. See? Now, what happened was the attorney said to me, because this is how it was going all day. So the attorney asked me, I'm going to ask you some questions. I said, okay. I want you to answer it yes or no. I said, okay. She said, are you married? I said, yes or no.
You probably asked him a further question to define what he's talking about.
No. She asked me if I was married. I said yes or no. She said, what? I said yes or no. She told me to answer her yes or no. I answered every question. Yes. Wait a minute. See?
I get it.
I did what she said. In other words, I answer the question that's asked, not the question I think they're asking.
I see.
So, let me see what time is it getting to be. Oh, we still got a little bit of time. Does anybody else have a question before we call her a night?
Thank you, Kerry.
No, thank you for being here. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, Kerry?
Can you hear me, Kerry?
I can hear you.
Okay, someone else was speaking, so I yielded, but I'll go ahead. Kerry, this is greetings to you from the lovely area that people like to call Arkansas. So, are there any success stories of people having the notice of lien removed at the county without having to do the 12277 form that I have not been privy to? I missed a few of your calls here.
Yeah, we have a lot of successes there, but it's going to depend on your county. Now, here's another approach that we're doing that we have a lot of success to. Take your court order to them, and then they're going to say, well, we have to do what the IRS says. Ask them what the IRS said. They'll give you a copy of what they have. The problem is, on the back, it's not, you see, it's a counterfeit. Now it's a counterfeit because they're not giving you the original. If you want to see what the back of a notice of lien looks like, I'll send it to you. Ed has one. I took a copy of the one that I picked up. On the back of it, it tells you what has to be on the front. Guess what? They don't give you the back because the IRS either faxes them, emails them, or gives them a copy. So if I write you a check, I'm going to give you a check, sign the check, make the check out. I'm going to Xerox it and mail it to you. Tell me what you got.
Well, you don't have the original. You don't have a copy of the original. You got some amalgamated form.
That's what they're doing. So to answer your question, what's good to do is know what you're doing. First of all, do you know what a notice of deficiency is?
I just know that it's in the Internal Revenue Code and it's assessment, as you said earlier.
Okay, so in other words, if they send you assessment in the mail, you got one, right?
Yeah,
See,
that's debatable. I mean,
No, it's not debatable. It is what it is. So let me ask you a question. Can a pork chop be a beef? If you don't know what it is, it's still pork. The problem you're having is you don't know what it is, so you don't know if you got one or not. See? So what I'm trying to do here is have you open your eyes and understand what's going on. Now think about this for a minute, okay? If I give you a check and don't sign it, tell me what you have.
An unsigned instrument.
Nope, you're incorrect. You have an unsigned check. See, what you're doing is you're trying it with an instrument. Okay, so if I send you a fork and sign the fork, would that be a signed instrument?
I guess it depends on the definitions, right?
See, there you go. That's why I asked you. If I send you a check and I don't sign it, what do you have? You said an unsigned instrument. No, sir. Look up instrument in Black's Law Dictionary. It says nothing about a check. What you have is an unsigned check or an invalid check or a check that's incorrect. See, that's what you get from the IRS. Instead of coming up with all this stuff, I don't do that. When they tell me they gave you one, I want to see it. Why? I don't know. I just want to see it. See? Does that make sense?
Sure does.
Okay, now let me ask you another question. I'm going to buy you some ice cream. What is ice cream?
Well, typically speaking, ice cream is
that's not what I asked.
Cream that's iced.
See, I did not ask you what typically it is. That's not what I asked. See? See what you're doing? You're filling in the blanks. Why don't you just answer the question that's asked? That would be more safer. Ask me the same thing.
What is ice cream?
I have no clue. because when I went to the strip joint the other night, the lady dancing on the pole, her name was Ice Cream. I guess it's a stripper. I don't know. See, if you ask me a question, I won't define it for you. I refuse to define it. Why? Because then I'm stuck on that. See? What's the matter?
Okay, so back to the original question.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that you're saying makes sense, Kerry. But back to the original question that I was asking earlier, and everyone else that's not actually asking questions, if they could please mute out because there's a lot of noise. The question I was asking is the successes that people have had without having to do the 12277 form. What's typically what we've heard? If I can get caught up.
Okay, you're probably at 30% or 40%, but if you don't do anything, you're at 0%. So
basically, they're going to the county clerk and going in there and do most of these things people have done in person, or they done it in writing.
It doesn't matter.
Has there been any?
Okay. It makes no difference. But now go to the court clerk, send it to her. But then if you're going to do that, I'm not giving you legal advice, but I would send it to the county attorney, because the county attorney is going to make the decision. When he makes the decision, when I take him to court, I'm going to sue him for being incompetent. So you got to have some reason. I have to make a controversy that I can win. See, in other words, have you ever heard the old saying, take a knife to a gunfight?
Yep.
I don't do that. I take a gun to a knife fight. See? To me, that makes sense. I'm going to take my gun to a knife fight. Why? Because when he pulls out his knife, I don't have to be as close. So what you have to do is think through what you're trying to do, and then you can use what you have. See? The court clerk, she's not an attorney, so that might be the weak link. Find the weakest link in the chain you're doing and attack that link. When you attack that link, that will be your easiest target. And guess what? That they won't be able to take that. They don't. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm the biggest squeak in town. See?
Harry, we got about 4 minutes.
That's good.
Well,
Thank you very much. There was someone else that had a question besides me. Appreciate you.
Thank you. One quick question, somebody.
Kerry, I wanted to mention one thing for the lady that was on the phone that had the problem with her house being foreclosed on.
Yeah.
You gave her some good information when you mentioned 31 USC 3124, and I've been using that for a property tax dispute because in my property tax they asked for say 1024. They had no dollar sign or anything on it. It was just 1024 for my property tax.
Yep.
So I looked up U.S. currencies, or excuse me, world currencies, and found that there were 24 different currencies that use the dollar sign. And one was really interesting. The Colombian peso is $3,217 or dollars Colombian to $1 US. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting some Colombian pesos and paying the tax bill with those because they're both the same.
Now, what I have done is I made a form. I have made up my own form using that as my guide. I have a form that I ask them, and if you don't tell me, then I will send you what I think it is. See? Then I send them just that. Now I've hamstrung them. And the reason for it is if they don't tell me, I'm telling them, if you don't tell me what you'll take, I will send you what I think you'll take.
Okay.
And a form, if you look it up in Black's Law Dictionary, is a model or a skeleton to be used in a court of law. So I don't need to go anywhere else. I have it written in a way that if they don't answer me, I can take that form, go directly to the court. What we've done is we've taken that form, send it to the county won't answer it, so we sue the county in state district court. And they won't tell the court. So what we did is we asked them we want to put the taxes in suspended animation until they answer the question so I can pay it. The guy we're doing it for has been 9.5 years. They have not told us yet.
Now, could you also say since the previous years I've made a mistake and paid with the U.S. dollars and I think I was wrong, can I get my money back for those?
Of course you can. You can do whatever you want. It's your deal. You know, it's your deal. It ain't mine. I don't give legal advice. But I've been doing this for a long time. And see, if I need something, I'm smart enough to figure it out. I made my own form. See, I call it a 1020 form. See, a 1040 works really good, so I use a 1020 on it. If they don't answer it, I do a fault with the right to cure. Then I do a default. Take the default, and I file it. If they don't take it, I record it. Take it and send it down. They're saying this tax bill is paid in full because you refuse to tell me, and I don't know what you want. Send it in. I'm not an attorney. I cannot make a legal determination. If I don't pay it, they're going to take me to court. That means it's a legal issue. See?
Well, let me ask you a question. You said you filed it and then you recorded it. Where do you file it?
If they'll take it, I file it, but they don't always take my stuff, so I go to the recorder's office where you would take Mary's license. See, and then, but when I record it, I still get the stamp for the courthouse on it. Now I've got a document. I'll take 4 or 5 of them down there. Then if I do have to go to court, here's my document. I've recorded it on the grounds they won't tell me. So if the judge says, "Well, you paid them," I can't. I can't unless you tell me right now. I can make a legal determination. So far, they never have.
Right, because they can't.
They can't. That's exactly right. So what I've done is I put them in between a rock and a hard place because if they don't have to answer me, then how can they ask me for it? See, now let me ask you a question, okay? Because I did tonight's call, I want 800 from you. What would you say?
800 what?
I'm not going to tell you, but if you don't send me 800, I'm going to take your house. That's there. Now you see. There's my form. See, it looks like a 1040, except it says 1020 at the top. I've got the tax assessor collector on it, and I asked number 1 in box listed so and so. Does the number 2142 mean? Then if you go to Title 18, Section 8, it defines 3124, and I put it just like that, and I send it to them. Then I tell them, under the doctrine of silence, if you refuse to answer the question, you agree you don't know, and this is paid in full. I can't make a legal determination, see? Then I go down and do my fault, then my default, and I immediately go to court. I'm now the plaintiff. It's a better position to be in.
Yeah.
If you want to see the form, get a hold of Ed. He'll send it to you, or he'll get a hold of me, and I'll call you, and I'll send it to you. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, folks. Our next call will be on the 23rd. And thank you for calling in tonight.
Yeah.
I hope you learned what everybody else learned. Okay.
We hope you learned. Thank you so very much.
Yes.